Hello everyone. I'm very happy to see each of you here today. We are going to have a good time discussing ways to implement social studies lessons into language arts lessons. Now, I'm sure we've all heard the term multitasking, and in a sense, that is exactly what we do when we integrate two or more subjects into one consolidated lesson plan. It's a way of making the maximum use of our time. Generations ago, students were expected to use good mechanics, good spelling, good sentence structure in all of their assignments, regardless of the subject. Well, reinstating that concept is just one aspect of integrating subjects. Another aspect is allowing students to dig deeper into the information presented to them. What I mean is that with integrated subjects, we allow students to use strategies and develop skills that get them more involved in the lesson. As a result, we can expect students to progress to improving their critical thinking skills. Now, some of you may remember social studies, aka history, geography, economics, civics, as being an endurance of boring, unrelated facts that you were forced to sit through. And either you had good memory skills or good use of mnemonics if you wanted to get a good grade. Well, in today's classroom, we are encouraged to use new methods for teaching, which allows students to ponder the why of events. In so doing, our students are more likely to prevent many of the mistakes of the past. No longer are simplistic answers sufficient for a well-rounded education. And prevention really begins with understanding why things happened as they did. If we are to succeed in our state's goal of producing good citizens who can effectively lead our country in the near future, we must prepare them to consider various angles of a situation. With the lessons I will present to you today, we will be using three fiction books that relate to the study of immigration and a culturally diverse society. While only two of the three books are written about American immigrants, each book explores the very real truth that any people group can be treated unjustly. Part of developing our students into good citizens is assisting them in caring about justice and respect for others. When we discover that prejudice and mistreatment of our fellow man is as widespread as it is allowed to be, we have taken the first step to eradicating this problem. The three people groups we will be looking at in these lessons are the Chinese Americans, the Irish Americans, and Jewish Americans, although the latter group is introduced through the backdrop of Danish Jews during World War II. I will offer you two suggestions for language arts activities and two activities for social studies activities that work with three of my favorite social studies fiction books. And once you understand these suggestions, your own imagination can prompt you to consider many more ideas for lesson plans. In fact, you may find that time constraints is your only limitation in using integrated lessons. Along with integrating lessons, there is one other concept that we would be wise to remember, and that is this. Students who are motivated will put more effort into their learning. More effort typically translates into more understanding and a deeper level of learning. Now, how are students quickly motivated? Well, a reliable way to motivate students is to make lessons relevant to their lives. If a student can honestly see how a lesson can relate to their own life, then that student will give more attention to the teaching, to the reading, the projects, and the classroom discussions about the topic. As humans, we are a bit self-centered, and when we see how something could affect us, it suddenly becomes more important. This is exactly why journaling or writing in a diary as an imaginary person of the time period being studied can be so effective. Now let us review each lesson idea. The fiction books used are My Name is America, The Journal of Wang Ming Chung, a Chinese Miner, written by Lawrence Yep, Torchlight, written by Carol Otis Hurst, and Number the Stars, written by Lois Lowry. These are the books. The book of Wang Qingmen, Torchlight, which is about Irish Americans, and a well-used copy of Number the Stars. The two language arts activities are bio poems and diary or journal entries, and writing from more than one perspective would be especially thought-provoking. The two social studies activities are a reader's theater related to cultural diversity and collecting personal histories. Now, if I may have your attention, I have a PowerPoint presentation that explains these activities a bit more. Remember, these are only suggestions, and you may modify them to suit your individual class makeup and your own personal strengths. Just keep your goals, your objectives in mind as you formulate your plans. Then we see the video, the PowerPoint. I hope these ideas have given you an idea of how much fun and how exciting integrating lessons can be. Always remember to write out your assessments as you prepare your objectives for each lesson. Now, I know that each of you have the capability to do well in your classrooms. However, should you encounter any difficulties in planning your lessons, please contact me or the administration as soon as possible. Each of us seasoned teachers was new at one time ourselves. I recently saw a poster that says it well. The expert at anything was once a beginner. Thank you for your time and attention, and thank you for your commitment to Total Success Middle School.